Hey guys, and welcome to World of Warships with Voulezvous. A couple of days ago I released a review video of the upcoming Tier 6 Russian premium cruiser, the Molotov, and I was comparing the Molotov to the standard Tier 6 Budyonny. And right at the beginning of that video I was comparing the stats of them, and if you'd like to see the stats of the Budyonny, I recommend you check out the video I just mentioned, and the link to this should be popping up in the top right corner of the screen right now. And without any further ado, let's move on to the battle itself. So I'm spawning in the northern side of the map New Dawn, and I decide to use the big island up ahead of me as cover, and I want to rush in there and basically slow down once I find a suitable area for myself. And I want to be shooting to the right side of my ship. I'm hoping that I will be able to attack either destroyers or cruisers, which will be going north from the southern point of the map. So Gremyashchi and Isukaze on the friendly team, they're moving in on the what would be the B cap area of the map if it was a domination mode, and some fighters popping up on the map, and now the Furutaka shows up, and I've got AG loaded, and I open up on the enemy ship and miss, unfortunately, and the second salvo hits the island, so so any further attacks are pointless right now. And this is something I want you to notice in this game. I will be switching targets very often, just switching to the ones which would give me the biggest chance of inflicting damage or finishing off, killing off a ship. So I have a friendly smoke screen up ahead, and I just noticed the Königsberg moving in, and I choose the Königsberg as my next target as he is charging straight at me. Those two first shots gave just under 1500 of the damage, and yes, exactly, he was charging, and I was expecting him to actually make a turn and just expose himself and his broadside to my fire, and that's why I loaded AP and open up on the enemy ship, and unfortunately miss with the whole salvo. Now the enemy cruiser is too angled, and there's no point of actually engaging him in. That's why I switched to the Furutaka almost instantly. Take aim and try to engage this cruiser. Now, as you see, I'm reversing now. I just want to slow down, and now that I'm nearly stationary, I move up again a little bit. I'm using this island now to protect myself from those two battleships to the west. But now I realize that I need to start moving again. I've been here for too long, and keep the AVP and open up on the Phoenix. The Phoenix is completely oblivious to my presence and my focus on the ship, and get just one citadel, which is really good. And the second salvo is already underway, and I already turned my gaze away because I know that the Phoenix will die. With another two citadels, the enemy cruiser is down. So looking at the map again, I'm looking for cruisers which I could attack, and I just see the Königsberg on pretty low health, and I'm hoping that maybe I'll manage to snipe him. That's why I used the spotter plane right now, just to extend my range by 20% and be able to open up on the enemy cruiser. So I have enough time to launch one salvo, and the Königsberg disappears. So I quickly switch targets and engage that Furutaka, getting a 5,500 hit with just one citadel. And I open that one again, but this time the Furutaka seems to be speeding up, and my lead was not sufficient enough. As you see, this New Mexico is actually really close, and I should be a very tasty target for him, but because I'm sorta hiding behind this island, I guess that's why I'm being ignored by this battleship. There's another one slightly to the right, which is also completely ignoring me, which is I suppose the best way of sailing a Russian cruiser, because as you know, they're quite relatively easy to citadel once under fire. So again, I have to switch targets, and this time it's the New York. I just want to set the battleship on fire, and the first salvo is out. And I get a couple of hits, but no substantial damage and no fires. One more time. And I see those torpedoes incoming, and I know that the New York is doomed, so I start switching targets again. And I see that Voulezvous, that's stationary, only 15 kilometers away. He's already under fire, and he's still not moving, but I anticipate him speeding up now, so that's why I gave a little bit of lead to this salvo, and that's why it's going to miss, because it seems that the enemy battleship player is AFK. And you see the torpedo bombers incoming on the map, and the dive bombers as well. I believe that the fate of the Fuso is already sealed. That's why I switch again. I look for another target, and I see the New Mexico. Still pretty much in the same spot on the map. I'm still keeping the island between me and the battleship, because at just under 10 kilometers, the New Mexico is a deadly threat to me. One salvo could basically delete me. So I'm sorta keeping that island between us, but now I see that the New Mexico is maneuvering, and also he is engaging somebody else to the north. So I don't really feel that endangered right now, and I open up on once, and I spot that Kuma slightly further away, and instantly switch to AP, give the appropriate lead, and the Kuma disappears. New Mexico beached himself, and I believe that for the next couple of minutes the ship is not going to move from there, which might be a connectivity issue. So no hits on the Kuma, and again I'm using this island just to protect myself from the New Mexico, just in case he woke up. And that's when I spot the Kuma again, and load AP quickly. And before I manage to shoot, the cruiser disappears. So I look for new targets, and I quickly spot the Königsberg. And I really want you to pay attention to what I'm going to do here. The Königsberg decided to commit, and he's engaging me. Basically, I'm going to play chicken with the enemy cruiser. I will be sailing towards this island up ahead of me, and I want to make him believe that I want to go behind this island, basically hide. And I think that's why he's holding fire. He wants to wait for me to give him a good broadside. And that's the moment where I slow down and make a hard right turn, and suddenly I'm the one who's waiting for the enemy cruiser to turn away with my AP ready, and it's only 2.5 kilometers. And that was a 7,000 damage salvo. Obviously the Omaha was equipped with torpedoes, and he managed to launch them. And they are incoming. I'm going to eat one, but I believe that was still completely worth the effort and the damage inflicted to me. I eat one of those torpedoes. There's torpedo bombers to my right, and that's one of their torpedoes as well, so it's a pretty bad hit on only 6,000 health. But I sail out from behind this island, and I open up on the enemy Königsberg, and I already start looking for another target, because again I know that the Königsberg is done. And again, without waiting, I quickly switch to the next target. The Furutaka with just over 300 health is an obvious choice. So I open up on the Furutaka, one salvo, second, just in case, and I secure myself a kill. So the only two ships left on the enemy team is the Kuma to the east and the carrier, which is still undetected. So I want you to see what the friendly carrier is going to do to the Kuma right now. He's not only going to do a cross drop on the Kuma in a second, but also he is locking it on a course just now. He launched those torpedoes, you see them right now, and basically made the Kuma go in a straight line, and that's how at 16 kilometers I don't really have that much of a problem with taking the right lead for my shot. So this is the moment where he drops the cross drop, and that's what makes the Kuma slow down, and that's why I miss. But again, slow and on a steady course, the Kuma presents a perfect target. I open up on it again, and he's on the leftovers of his health, and that's my 4th kill. So I want you to see what I'm gonna do right now. I just spotted the enemy carrier, and I'm taking aim right now. And as soon as I take aim and take the right appropriate lead, I noticed that there's a torpedo bomber squadron incoming, so I need to be able to maneuver and look around. So I took the lead, pressed the right mouse button, and I can fire. As you can see right now, I'm still firing. I'm getting citadel hits, and I'm free to look around and use the camera. Again, I'm firing again to use the camera and adjust my course accordingly to avoid the torpedoes. And if you know what I just did and how to do this, then great. But if not, it's the right mouse button function. You keep the lead that you had on the target. You can shoot just as I'm shooting right now, and basically be accurate and get 4 citadel hits in just one salvo without even being in scope. If you'd like to see more examples of this kind of firing, then a link to an Atlanta video, which is popping up in the top right corner, is the link that you would like to follow. So go ahead and check it out. It's quite an interesting video. And now that they cleared the island, I open up on the enemy carrier just to finish it off. And that's the battle over. So guys, 287,000 and 7,300 of experience, 81 hits target, 7 planes shot down, 5 kills, and a whopping 17 citadels. 17 citadels, which is, I think, my record. This game also gave me the Kraken Unleashed award and obviously the 1st place on my team. Moving on to the damage tab, 73,068 AP penetrations. That's over 1,000 per penetration, which is a very decent result. Just over 10,000 in HE hits and just under 5,000 in fires set, and that came up to a flat 88,500 of total damage dealt. Money-wise, this game has been very good for me, and after securing some extra income from missions being accomplished in the background, I managed to crank the total profits to 310,000 after all the refits and repairs. So guys, this is all as far as the game goes, and if you'd like to see my choice of captain perks and modules for this ship, just stay tuned, and this is the next thing that's gonna follow now. So, tier 6 Budyonny. Let's start with the modules. For the first upgrade, I chose the AA Guns Modification 1. For the second one, the Gunfire Control System Modification 1. For the third one, Damage Control System Modification 1. And the 4th and final one is the Steering Gears Modification. And as far as the consumables, I use the Premium Damage Control Party and Standard Hydroacoustic and Spotter Plane. The perks I have chosen for this captain right now are Situational Awareness, Basics of Survivability, Expert Marksman, and Vigilance. Now, as you can see, I got 2 spare points which I could use now. The idea is that I want to have the Demolition Expert perk, which takes 4 stars once I get there, but this is still going to be a while, and I don't mind spending some extra gold, so I could choose a different perk in the meantime. And I think that I am going to add the Incoming Fire perk to my Budyonny to make the ship even stronger. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please do give it a like down below. It definitely helps the channel out by motivating me to come up with new content. Also, think about hitting the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. And also, if you did enjoy this video, I think you might also want to watch the latest Chapayev video, which I released a couple of days ago, where I hope I managed to demonstrate that even though it is a weaker ship than Mikhail Kutuzov, it is still a formidable enemy and a very powerful ship to sail. So if you want to check this one out, the link to this video should be popping up in the top right corner right now. And that's all I've got to say for this episode. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the open seas.